Today we'll start with configuration in SAP. This is a new topic. Yeah, this is what I think. Yeah, this is what I wrote in my notes. Yeah. So today's topic is going to be configuration in SAP. In the configuration on SAP, before if you want to implement the configuration in SAP, the first and foremost thing is when you buy a gadget, you will have different manuals how to use it and when to use it and what is the purpose of the gadget. Everything in the manual they will list you, and then you can use it for the respective purpose at your home. Same way, if you want to use SAP and if you want to install SAP in the system, there are particular methodologies which are given by SAP company. You have to follow this methodology for different versions of SAP ECC version. Now, what are the SAP ERP versions we know? One is SAP ECC, and then the other one is what we know is SAP S4HANA. These are the two ERP projects that we need to implement. The methodologies that are required to implement this SAP ECC versions are, and any software also we can implement at two levels. We can do it on premise and we can do it on cloud. SAP ECC also is existing in on premise. On premise means if suppose Coca-Cola is buying its SAP software, they will their headquarters is somewhere in US. In their respective headquarter company, they will install the server setup and they will uh, they will manage or they will connect to that server from wherever from the globe. They will connect to that server. That is server is with you. Whereas nowadays there is a new thing, everyone is moving or taking the services of cloud because the maintenance of servers is costly and you need to again hire a different set of team, and you don't have the backups also that easily, so that it will affect your business operations. Nowadays everyone started moving to cloud service providers which are called data centers. They are like Amazon, you have Microsoft Azure, you have Google Cloud, you have, these are some of the famous companies. There are a number of companies, but these are the famous companies where you can just store or install your applications in the cloud software. And this was there from long time, but why it recently garnered pace is, did I explain the reason for that? In S4 HANA version also we have on-premise and cloud edition. So this cloud was there from long time, but what is the difference that uh, SAP S4 HANA and SAP ECC cloud was? This ECC version is not cloud ready design. For this, I'll take an example for you. Let us say that you have 100 quantity of goods. Okay, you have your 100 quantity of goods. This 100 quantity of goods needs to be stored in a warehouse. Okay, so and your warehouse has a good capacity to store somewhere around 1,000 goods, let us say, and right now the half of the warehouse is full. You can take this 100 quantity of goods, you can take this 100 quantity of goods and directly place it somewhere here in the half. This half is full. Let me draw another symbol. This 100 quantity is full. Some at some places you have some spaces where you can still store some goods. You have some space here, some space here, or some space here. Now you have your 100 quantities of goods. This 100 quantity, you can directly place this 100 quantity of goods somewhere here. You can place them. This half portion is full and this is empty. The white space is empty. and this is also empty. Okay, since here we don't have the choice. Let me fill. Here the white space is, one second, let me pick a color just so that you will have clarity. Yeah, this is free, this is free, this is free. Now in our warehouse we have half of the space is full and half of the space is, yeah, now this half is empty and this half is full with some small spaces here and there. Now if I want to place my complete cloud software, okay, if it is a single package of ECC cloud, it is designed in if it is designed as a single package, I can't go and put the software in this here and there spaces. I have to pack it with 100 quantity package. I have to directly store in the memory space. Whereas if my software is cloud ready design, if it is called as S4 HANA is cloud ready design and ECC is not. When it is cloud ready design, it will optimally use the memory space. So this 100 quantity can be split further into, maybe here there can be some 30 quantity can be 30, or let me say this is 50 quantity and this is some 20 are stored here and 30 are stored here, like that. If your software is cloud ready design, it will optimally use the memory space in the mm, uh, RAM or memory HDD. You're getting me, Romanik? Pooja?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This 100 quantities, for example, first I'll explain with this 100 quantity goods. This 100 quantity can be as a package we can place in the new warehouse, or else you can divide it and you can distribute it in the existing space which is filled. Similarly, an ECC software is not cloud ready design, it is a package software. You can't separate the activities of it and distribute here and there. Whereas S4 HANA is cloud ready design, you can distribute the activities wherever there is a vacancy in the memory space. That's the beauty. You can install both softwares on on-premise and cloud, but whereas if you install S4 HANA on cloud, it is going to be much more effective. So I'll erase this. I'll come back to our methodologies. Now, this on-premise methodology uses ASAP methodology. Okay, and this cloud uses launch methodology. And S4 HANA on-premise, for both of them, we can implement it using SAP activate methodology. So these are the steps on how to implement your SAP configuration in the system. So and SAP cloud was a disaster, not so famous. SAP ECC cloud was not so famous. So people they are not using much of this. Now people have directly migrated from this ECC to S4 HANA. They are migrating from on-premise to on-premise or on-premise to directly cloud. So for both of them, you can use SAP activate methodology. For some of the existing projects, in whenever you go for any interviews and all, if the project is related to some large organization which is still using ASAP methodology, you have to learn ASAP methodology, and then if the organization is migrating to S4HANA or implementing some projects in S4HANA, then you will be using SAP activate methodology. Right now, we have two methodologies that we need to learn in this session. One is SAP ASAP methodology, and then you have SAP activate methodology. SAP ASAP methodology full form is accelerated SAP methodology. The full form is this. This is called accelerated SAP methodology. And Activate methodology is used for S4HANA on-premise and cloud editions. On-premise is if you are installing your software uh, within your organization, or else if you are using some third-party service where you want to install your software, then it's called a cloud implementation. The way the installation, the configurations will change from system to system. Right now, we are going to learn about on-premise edition in our course. The cloud is again a different course. Right now, it is not much used. It will be used in the future. Now, coming to SAP ASAP methodology, what are the different steps involved in ASAP methodology? So, this ASAP methodology tells us if you have a project, what are the different steps that needs to be followed. The first and foremost step we have is project preparation. If there is a particular project, let us say my business operations are in US. Now I wanted to move to a new country. I wanted to move to UK or any place in the Europe, be it Germany, Denmark, Poland, anything. I wanted to start my business operations there. Then my organization will be physically ready, but within the technical perspective, in the IT point of view, also I need to put the organization structure. What are the number of manufacturing plants or distribution plants, sales organization, purchase organizations, profit centers, cost centers, all those details, whatever is required, organization structure has to be done physically, and the configuration settings to perform business are also needs to be done in the IT perspective in SAP point of view. So first and foremost thing, we will prepare for the project, and then in this we will prepare. First is project preparation. In this we will prepare standard operating procedure. What are the standard operating procedure currently our client is following? Once you have the standard operating procedures, you will get to know the business. The domain will be different. Some companies might be using healthcare. Their business is into healthcare. Some will be into banking. Some will be into real estate. Some will be into pharmacy. Some will be into healthcare. Some will be into aeronautical. The, the companies list of the domain companies are endless. So whatever their standard operating procedures are, how they do business, we will get to know all of that in the beginning during a project preparation stage. And if you have any questionnaires, you will make the questionnaires. You will send it to the client side, and if there will be subject matter expert SME, subject matter expert from client end. They will answer all the questions. They will answer the questions. And once these questionnaires are done, now you know what the complete client business is. Then what you will do is what existing process are there. They might be already using SAP system only. That SAP, upon that SAP system, now you are going to go a new country. How it is going to be, how they wanted to do business in that country. So as is process, first we will prepare a document. As is document is prepared, this is nothing but the existing process. Once you have the existing process, what you will do now, client says that he needs a new configuration or new settings or new features in the system. So whatever he is expecting for the system to perform, we will record it in a to be document. This is nothing but the proposed solution that we are going to provide to the client. To be document, after our changes, how the system looks like, we will be providing that to be document. And once we will get the sign off, this is the first stage. Totally, there are 5 stages in SAP methodology. This is the first stage. This is the first stage of project preparation. Any queries here? Dominic, Pooja?
No queries.
Okay.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
So if you are using the agile methodology, so you'll be working with the Scrum Masters in order to prepare this, or the business analyst? Which one?
So basically, we don't use agile methodology in ASAP methodology. So the implementation time is very slow in ASAP methodology. We'll be using that in activate methodology.
Okay.
Agile is something new. So where there will be continuous change in business requirement and adapting those requirements. So it is not that business requirement will change continuously, but our following the agile methodology approach is to imbibe the changes in business requirement. Romaric, this particular ASAP methodology is like a waterfall model of implementation. Waterfall, just a design is ready and you have to implement it. That's all. You don't have to look side by side, nothing. Whereas in agile methodology, you will keep on imbibing. If there is a change in requirement, you will immediately adapt, and if there are anything else extra possible, you will do that in agile methodology, because
Right.
every day you will have discussion one to one with the client. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this ASAP methodology is old one. This is going to be outdated anyhow in 2027.
Thank you.
And using this, let me tell you, you are saying agile methodology, and there will be a scrum master who will be following up with the status of all the projects, and day in and out they will be getting the requirement. Yes, in organizations we have agile practitioners, we have scrum masters. What they will do is, in ASAP methodology also we can implement it, but not to the best level. Here what happens is, in an organization where when you are doing a business with a client, they'll have business around some 20 to 30 countries minimum. Any client, if you pick them, who are using an enterprise resource planning software, that means it is an enterprise, that the business itself is big. When you have such kind of big customer, when you are servicing with them, they will have multiple countries, will have multiple issues and multiple projects also. Each country will have some their own requirement, the frequent change. They will keep on pushing that to the uh, IT teams. What IT team will have is, they will have list of multiple projects with them. This multiple projects together, agile practitioner can regularly check the status update and what is the time of implementation, and if there is anything we can do it fast. Yes, they will do that. That only to that extent we can use the agile practice over here, but not at the business level. Here we are not going to imbibe any new. If there is any new business requirement, we are not able to quickly grab that opportunity and install it and do it in SAP. We don't have that. Full to full agile, no. Some 50% of agile, yes. Agile practice can be done, but not at a 100% scale. Is my question answered?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions, Pooja?
No, sir.
Yeah. This is the first stage, and please take note of this. Now, this is one of the interview question. Please take a screenshot of this. They keep asking this. That is the reason I am explaining. Done? I'm going for the second. Second one is blueprint. Now, whatever each and every configuration that we are going to make in the system are documented. Each and every configuration that we are going to do. Till now, we haven't done the configuration. We are just in document phase only. We are going to do in the SAP system. We will record it in the blueprint stage. once the blueprint, what we are going to, like, it is like same like our if you have construct a building or a home, what you will do, you will first go to the reach to the architect, and you will get your blueprint of design for your land layout, how much in what area you want to build a home. You will get the blueprint document first. Similarly, in SAP projects also, first we will get the blueprint prepared. What are all the configurations that you are going to do in the system? Now I am not talking only with respect to finance. When you are talking about project, it will involve all the teams, be it finance, SD, PP, and in each project, whatever is the responsibility of a finance consultant, he will execute his part. Whatever is the role of the consultant, he will execute his part, and whatever is the role of sales and distribution guy, he will execute his part. All together work will be a project. Okay, simply a finance, you won't get only a finance project. Yeah, there will be, but in a enterprise company, you will have tight integration between all the modules, and the finance module will definitely have integration with other modules. Okay, and once you prepared the blueprint and you submit it to the client, and but by this time you have understood all the requirement and what client is expecting, and when you try to record it in the system, there might be some gaps. There will be some gaps. So that the gaps are with respect to some additional settings or some additional things needs to be done in the system other than what client have asked. So because for every configuration we will charge from the client, right? So we need to confirm with the client, and there will be some additional configuration to be done in order to finish the requirement. So that if there are any gaps between the first decided document, we prepared the to be document, right? Proposed solution. That to be document, which is going to be the scope document, and by the time we came to the system, we have done a dry run and all, we checked all of it. Now you understood that there are some gaps. Then you will prepare this gap analysis document. In this gap analysis, whatever is deviating little bit, any differences or new additions, any differences or new additions that you have encountered, you will record in this document. You will record in it. Okay, capture this document, and you will get a sign off from client. After each and every stage, you have to inform client, and you need to get a sign off from them. That is nothing but a approval. Okay, you are good to close this stage, and now you can move to the next stage. Okay, this is in the blueprint stage. Any questions here? Please take a screenshot. I'll move to the third. Done. I'm going for the third now. If there are any questions, you can just ask. And next you have is realization phase. Now, what happens in this phase? This is the actual phase where the consultants will start doing the configuration in the system. Here we'll have two parts. First one is perform the configuration in the system, and then you have to do the testing. And the configuration part, yes, there are different consultants: finance, SD, sales, PP, QM, all LE, all the people who are responsible for the project. See, some projects will impact the module, some project will not impact the module. It all depends upon the business scenario. Based on the business scenario, which are modules are getting impacted, their particular team will perform the configurations. And coming to the testing, we have different types of testing. First one is whatever developer or a consultant who performs the testing in the development system. As of now, I haven't discussed this different systems. For now, you just remember we will perform two testings. One is unit testing and second one is system integration test. I'll explain this in the next topic in system lines. Okay. We'll perform two types of testing, unit testing and system integration testing. Once this is okay, we will provide the end user training. So now we are consultants, but we are not the persons who are not going to use SAP day to day. Day to day business end users will be the one who will be using SAP system. They are the ones who will post some documents in the system. So business end user training, whatever we have done, the project changes, the information has to be passed to the business users. How to use the new options that we have loaded in the system. So business end user training. Business end user training has to be given here in this stage. Once the business end user training is given, here we will also give them procedure steps, how to do execute the scenario, whatever we have implemented. This is about the realization phase. The realization phase is the way where we will do configuration, testing, and business end user training. This is the core part. This will stay for long. It will take time in the real time. And this phase will not get closed that quickly. Done. Taken a screenshot. Can I move to the next? Romanik Pooja?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm moving to the next. I'm moving to the fourth stage. The next stage is once you have performed all the configurations, you will check the final preparation. What we will do in the stage is once client has tested, in the third stage there is a business user training provided to the user, and client will also do the process test system. He will execute the test. If he feels something is not good, we need to do the rework if required. Rework in the system if required will be done in this stage. And now you have started your new business in Europe, right? We took the example of you are a US company and you now move to your business to you're going to start business in new country in UK. So in UK you will find customers. You have your existing customers, or you have acquired a small company over there, or now you are starting your business operations. You will have customers over there. So all the data uploading related to customers, masters, vendors, masters, and the GL accounts that you're going to use, everything will be uploaded, whatever is required for the day-to-day business process, like things related to master. I will explain what are all this master data and all. We will discuss anyhow. Did I discuss about the three types of data in SAP? Hello.
No, sir. Data.
Okay, I'll tell you. So we have this master data, and we have this any opening balances from finance point of view. We have, if we have the any opening balance or point of view, we have any stock or something which are having some opening balances. Then all those opening balances will be loaded. And if there are any light items, already some existing transactions. Suppose if you have acquired some business in UK, so if you're a large company, you will always acquire some small company and expand your business over there. So you have acquired some small company already. There are some existing customers, and there are some existing transactions already. So all those line items you will load in this. And once all this preparation is done, you will directly move the changes to production. You will go live. You will move all of this to production system and you will start using it. And the project team who has executed the project, usually what we discussed, there are two types of teams. We have project team and support team. Project team are the ones who will implement, and Support team is the one who will be assisting the business. If there is any case of any issues and all, the support team will be doing that, right? Hello? Yes, no? Romantic Puja? There?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in the go live stage, what happens is the project team, once the changes are moved to production, what is production and all, I'll tell you in the next topic. Hypercare support for 2 weeks. This is the standard. You can also expect for more. It all depends on the agreement happens between you and the customer. So hypercare support is provided for 2 weeks for the defects, if any. Once the changes are moved to production and still business users face some issues, even after all the thorough testing and all, if there are still any issues, the defects has to be raised by the business, and this defects will be supported by the project team for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you will hand over the activities to support team, and support team will take care of the project from there. Okay. So any questions still here? Hello.
No questions.
Okay. So to understand this better, I will now this topic better. Now I will move to the next topic called system landscape. First, we will understand the system landscape. The second methodology called SAP Activate methodology, I will explain it at the end of the course, because if I tell it now, you won't get that. There are many terminologies that which you need to know some part of SAP. So I will discuss the SAP Activate methodology at the end of the course. SAP ASAP methodology, I already explained. Okay, launch methodology you can ignore. No one is using that much, and it is also out. It is going to be outdated. Now, system landscape. Any software project that needs to be implemented. Suppose, for example, I'll take the example of a bank. We have this Bank of America, which is a very big bank in the US now. And imagine the scale of transactions that happen in every minute or every second. Some or the other transaction. There will be a small guy who will be purchasing uh, a particular ice cream or anything from a supermarket or a store or a burger. From there till a person who is exporting his company's goods to a different country in a large ship, he will pay a huge sum of money in a single transaction. So the range of transactions is different. And if imagine if a Bank of America server stops for 1 minute, on every transaction, the bank will have earn some money, they will have some processing fee. And if all of a sudden for 1 minute, if Bank of America stops it, a server gets stopped, the number of transactions that get failed will be in huge numbers, very huge numbers, and huge volume of transactions will be happening across the globe at a particular minute. So all this will be impacted. So no software. Similarly, there might be another software which is used for your enterprise resource planning, SAP company, where you are only bothered with the ERP activities. Here you are using your business, and your business is somewhere in 20 or 30 plus countries, and you will be manufacturing in China, and you will be shipping to India, and you will manufacture in Indonesia, you will move to US, you will move to Europe. So you're different in different countries, you have different activities. Imagine if uh, you booked a shipping company, a Maersk or something, your logistics company. You booked a ship to export your goods, and because your SAP software is down for a half an hour or 1 hour, and you are not able to bill the customer abroad, and you are not able to ship the goods in that ship, and the ship waiting time is 1 hour. So in the ship, it's not only yours. There will be many other goods of different companies. For all of them, there will be a waiting time, and it will impact the global supply chain, and there will be a penalty imposed on the on the logistics company as well as the person who booked the ship. If he is delaying some time, definitely there will be a uh, extra charge that will be levied on. Agreed, Romaric?
Yeah.
So always your software should be up and running 24/7. It should not rest for idle. So that is the reason these always the software, any changes you want to make to the system are not directly done on the live systems. Live systems are called production systems. This is where the real business happens. These are called production systems or live system. This is where the actual business happens day in and out. Business end users, everyone will be using this system. But if you want to make some changes in this system, and if you make some change and it is causing the system, it is bringing the system down for 1 hour, your business operations will stop. That is the reason what you will do is any changes you want to perform, you will not do directly in the production system. You will start something with the development. This is called development system. And then you once it is developed, you will do the testing. You can do the unit testing here. Here business user will do. There is a system called test system. Whatever changes you have made, is it error free? The program you written, is it error free? The configuration you made, is it error free, or is it causing any problem to the existing process flow? Everything is tested. Once it is error free, only then they will move the changes. You will first make the changes in development system, then move it to the test system, and here you will thoroughly test it. Once the testing is thoroughly done and it is error free, then only you will release the changes to production system. Only that particular set of change which you made, that will be released to production system, and the business users can start using that new change in the system also. This is how in the real time the projects will get executed. And now any changes, any configuration changes that are done, or any changes done in the system, those are all in SAP system, those are already always saved. You made some changes here and you click on save, it will get saved in the transport request. It will get saved in the transport request. This transport request will be moved from one system to another system. It will contain the changes that you made. Once you click on save, it will get saved under the transport request. Using this transport request, you will move the change. Every transport request will have a transport number. Similarly, multiple consultants will be generating multiple transport requests. So you can decide upon which transport request and which changes have to be moved. See, I might be working in the changes in finance area. Some other person in finance area will be working on another changes. Each one of them will store the changes in a transport request number. This transport request number will be moved from one system to another system. It will only take that respective changes which are made, which are changed. Okay. And once this is there in the test system, it is thoroughly tested, and then you will again move the transport request number to production. Clear? Any questions still here? Hello?
No, no questions from my side. You can have
Pooja,
some
do you
questions.
have
No,
any questions?
no, sir.
Okay. Now I am moving one step ahead. Till now, what I have spoken is I have told development system, test system, and production system. But in real time, what happens is you will have multiple development systems, multiple test systems, and there will be a backup production system also. So now I am switching the name from development system. Now I have multiple systems. I will not be using a single name. So what I will do, I will start writing it as development environment Since I have multiple things, I am naming it as environment, multiple systems, multiple development systems, multiple test systems. That is the reason I am marking it as environment. Test environment, or in real time, it is also called as quality assurance system. QAS, quality assurance system. So I'm just writing it now as test environment. And then you have production environment. Why environment is because you will have multiple systems. For example, you in your organization there will be day-to-day businesses. So day-to-day you will have one production live system. This is let me mark it as production live, and then this is one I have one test system. This is nothing but where quality test will be done. I'll name it as QTST, quality test. Q test, quality testing is done, and then you have your development. So any changes that if the business user requires a new change to be done, there is a new change in tax rate, or there is something new, a new update that needs to be done to the production system. What he will do? He will raise a request saying that please do it before the end of month. From next month, the tax levied is increased. So what you will do? You will first update the tax rate in development system, do your round of unit test, and then you will move the changes to test system, and here business user will do the testing. Who is using the system in production system, that particular person will do the testing. This is called user acceptance test, and then you will move the changes to production system. This is same as earlier scenario, right? All this is moved using a transport request number. The changes are moved using a transport request number. This is the ideal scenario that we have discussed earlier. Now in real time what happens is, now let us say this is all ECC systems. These are all ECC systems. Okay. And let us say your business is somewhere around in 30 countries. You have business operations in 30 countries. And all this 30 countries configuration, excuse me, all this 30 countries configuration is recorded in each system. So we already passed the time. I'll take 5 more minutes. Is that okay, Ramarik and Pooja? Fine?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I joined late, na, so I'll take that 7 minutes. I'll take 7 minutes. Fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry for troubling you guys. Yeah. I'll close within 7 minutes. Now we have all these 30 countries SAP configuration settings are maintained in each system: development system, test system, production system. If there is any change in some small tax rate or something in this within this 30 countries, we'll start doing that. But now let us take our example. Now every company, they are deciding to move from ECC to S4 HANA. Let us say that. Now, when they wanted to implement S4 HANA, can they implement it in the existing ECC? Because day in and out, there will be business operations and changes required by these 30 countries. I can't move the 30 countries. I can't implement S4 HANA for 30 countries at once. So what I will do is, I will create a new development system with S4 HANA configuration. So this is a S4 HANA, S4H. I am just writing S4H, S4 HANA development. Okay, now I have a S4 HANA development system. I can't directly implement it for 30 countries. I will do it phase wise, because if 30 countries, there will be in each country, there will be somewhere around some 600 to 700 people who will be using the SAP system. I have to train all of them. It's not a sudden shift or sudden change in software upgrade for all the countries, or will be a difficulty. There will be a business issues. People will not be able to use the system and they will be stuck with some defects. Whenever you make some changes or new project additions, sometimes the system will perform better, sometimes there will be a defects. You have to correct the system for initial 1 month or 2 months, and after that the software will be smooth. So till that time, you can't take the risk of 30 countries business. All of a sudden, you can't shift to SAP S4 HANA. So what you will do first, you will do the configuration of one country. Okay. When you will do the configuration of this one country, parallelly that one country changes that they are using that one country, maybe it is US. There will be some tax rate changes and all this, that those tax rate changes will be done in ECC, and regularly the business will work. This, you are upgrading your project in S4 HANA. This one country, you will create another test server here for S4 HANA. Let us take this S4 HANA test server, and then you will move the changes of this one country settings to this S4 HANA test server using a transport request. Here the transport paths are different. The changes you do for this one country here will be live here, and the one country changes of US will be here. And once the changes are available in the test system, you will create another round of production system, which is nothing but a S4 HANA system. S4 HANA production system. Here you create the new production system. This one country changes are now available here in production system. And now you will do the training to the users of this one country, and now the number will change from 30 countries to, here it will change from 30 countries to 29 countries. The 30th country will start performing its operations in S4 HANA. Remaining 29 countries will still use ECC, but the 30th country will start using S4 HANA. And similarly, you will migrate company code based on requirement wise. You can't migrate everything at once. Now this 30 will change to 29. Now any changes you have to do for the 30th country, you will do it in S4 HANA. Any new update in tax rate, like that. Now 29 countries changes are enough. Now you decide to, okay, now system is stable, S4 HANA system is stable, there are no issues. Now you can take the choice of moving 4 countries which are all related to Europe. So Europe almost follows the same way of business. They have European Union Council, and the countries you have in Europe are Germany, Denmark, Poland, Switzerland, Sweden, Austria. There are so many countries in Finland. You have so many countries in European region. All of them follow the same business style. Now let us say you decided to move the 9 countries of Europe to S4 HANA at once, because they all follow the similar structure. What you will do, instead of having in your development system one country configuration, now you will have 10 countries configuration enabled in this system. And here, once this 10 countries configuration are okay, you will move the changes to test system. Here you will have 10 countries configuration. Once the test is also okay and you will train all the users in this 10 countries, you will make sure you will move the changes to production system. 10 countries changes are now live. So people can now stop using the 10 countries, people can now stop using ECC and they can start using S4 HANA. So this will be stopped, and here you will have 19 countries remaining. Sorry, not 19, 20. 20 countries. And here now you will no longer make the development related to the remaining countries, right? You will only make the configuration related to 20 countries. You will start using ECC, and here also you will use 20 countries for ECC. This is how phase wise there will be a day where completely you will be using 30 countries configuration to in S4HANA, and there will be 0 countries you will be using ECC. Okay, this will be completely gone. Slowly, day by day, the migration will happen, and there will be a day where all the company codes will start using S4HANA system, and then your ECC system will be scrapped off. This will be no longer there. This will be no longer there. This will be no longer there. The only system you will use will be S4HANA. This will not be there. Your ECC will not be there. Clear? Any questions here? This is how in real time the projects will get executed. Now you might have the query. Now till the time, now I am a group company code headquartered in US. Right? I'm headquartered in US. Now you are using 2 systems, ECC and S4HANA. Now I have to consolidate my profit and loss and balance sheet to provide my financial statements at the group company code level. I have to produce to the government. How can I do it? To integrate this, the actually in real time the migration, you will use the another system called central finance. Central finance for large organizations, you will use this, and from ECC, and it will integrate the data from both SAP systems and non-SAP systems and provide the financial reports in the respective country. This is advanced. Right now it is not required, but I'm just stating that point. Any questions? Pooja, Ramarik?
Sir, no, sir.
No questions.
Okay. This is how phase-wise the projects will be moved. I want to little bit enlarge on the system landscape. I will enlarge it tomorrow. I need to discuss few more points. Like I wanted to discuss about sandbox system. I want to discuss about golden client. I also wanted to discuss about what is client. So right now you might have got your credentials. Did you get your SAP credentials?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'll speak about it. So you have clients. What are these clients and how are they named? I'll talk about different types of data in the next session. That is tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you, guys.